So my name is Elliott Selzer. I work on the YouTube and display team.
My name's Jamie Grenney. I'm the Senior Director of Social Media at Salesforce.
So Jamie and I first sat down probably about 18 months ago, and the initial conversation was very focused on Jamie had already started. He was developing a pretty rich platform on YouTube to distribute video content, but he wanted to take it to the next level. So our engagement really began with him challenging me to say, how do I take this to the next level? But it very quickly went beyond YouTube, and he started to get me thinking a little bit broader, which was great, about how do I think about video syndication overall. And so that was really exciting for me, because I think we oftentimes get stuck in our own little world, and Jamie really pushed the envelope there. So I want to have Jamie talk a little bit about how Salesforce thinks about video overall, maybe talk a little bit about Salesforce overall to begin with, and how Salesforce thinks about video, and then also how Salesforce thinks about using YouTube as a platform for video syndication.
Okay, thanks, Elliott. So for those who aren't familiar with Salesforce, we deliver business applications over the web, very similar to Gmail or Google Docs. We have a pretty large direct sales force who is out there educating prospects and customers on our sales product, our service product, our platform, and our new collaboration products. From a marketing perspective, we use a whole bunch of different channels to reach our customers, but video has been especially powerful for us. It allows us to deliver a really clear and concise message in a highly scalable format. So this video that we have on cloud computing is a great example of that. A very short 3-minute video has been seen by over 200,000 people, and it just has done a fabulous job of educating the market on our core value proposition. When I approached Elliott about a year ago, I guess it was, we were looking for a video solution for not just YouTube, but also for our website as well. We had video across our website in custom Flash players, and then we had a subset also on YouTube, but we were looking for a cohesive video experience. And we looked at a lot of different vendors out there, video management vendors, but ultimately we decided to go with YouTube, and there were a couple reasons that led to that. The first one was that YouTube has, I think it's 70% of all video views online are done through YouTube. And when you think about that, it's a system that is so familiar to people. They receive a link, they know exactly what they're going to get when they click on that link. They see the player, they know exactly how it works, and they know how to syndicate it out to friends. So that was really, really compelling. The other reason we decided to do everything on YouTube was we were trying to aggregate our view counts, aggregate our analytics all in one spot. As you guys probably know, that influences search, and more video is coming up in search. So those are some of the reasons that we ended up going with YouTube. Since then, we've also been using the YouTube API to put video players across our website. So all of our demos and things like that, we even have a Salesforce channel on our website that's totally powered by YouTube. And we've been really impressed by the flexibility of the API.
So if you have a chance and you get to spend a little time on salesforce.com experiencing the video, or Jamie's channel, which is at youtube.com/Salesforce, you'll recognize that Salesforce as an organization takes their video content production and syndication very seriously. They also spent a lot of time measuring. They've developed best practices. And they also are always on the bleeding edge of using new tools when YouTube rolls out annotations or new overlay opportunities and other things. Salesforce is always right on the bleeding edge there. And I think I'd like to ask Jamie to talk a little bit about how he organizes his team, and when you're producing a lot of content and trying to stay on brand and have it really have an impact every time someone comes to your video, to get them to stick with it, it needs to be good. So I'd like to have Jamie talk a little bit about just the strategy of video production and distribution.
Okay. Well, today we have over 800 videos on YouTube, so it's a lot of content out there. Those videos include product demos, there's training, there's event content. Really, there are all sorts of content producers across our organization that want to use this new medium. One thing that we've done is we built a mashup between YouTube and Salesforce so that we can manage our video content inside the Salesforce UI. And what that's done for us is it's given us enterprise administration, so we have an approval process when people are publishing videos. But it's also allowed us to create custom fields that mash up the YouTube data with data that we have in that app. So one thing that's important to me is to be able to track the cost per view of a video. So once we get to a cost per view metric, and we can also apply custom fields for, like, is this a training video or is this a product demo, we can start to define what are the most important things that we need to invest in from a content perspective and start prioritizing there. if you look at the insight data, it really is amazing. Oftentimes, your top 3% of videos will be driving the lion's share, and yet you need a way to push back on the business and say, hey, here are the videos we really need, and the rest of the videos are, important, but less of a priority.
Yeah, so Jamie's talked a bit about, he mentioned YouTube Insight, and I have to say, I'm the product manager on YouTube Insight. Actually, the product manager changed a little while ago, and it was a big deal for me personally because I love the tool so much. I got a little nervous about where it was going to go. It's an amazing tool. If you haven't checked it out, just go log into your YouTube account and have a look, because it's essentially video analytics, a free product built into YouTube. And to me, whether a video has 100 views or 300,000, there's something to be learned from that data. So I know Jamie has used the tool, but this slide kind of shows Jamie's using other tools as well. So if you want to talk for a minute about measurement of your video views, and also I know you've done a lot in measurement of social, so if you want to touch on that.
Well, I think the Insight product is really eye-opening when you jump into it. We had no insight into the video views prior to this, and all of a sudden, with our catalog on there, without doing any work, we have complete access to the Insight tool. So we can see across our organization what videos are being viewed. We can understand discovery, what percentage of those views are on our site versus YouTube versus other sites. We can also dive into individual pieces of content and see where attention drops off. So we can really evaluate content on an individual piece.
Yep. So I think we've talked a lot about your videos in particular, and I think video marketing is a very hot topic for everyone, and actually it's come up a lot more today than I think we've seen in past years in this event, which I'm pretty excited about. But I think video marketing is much more than just distribution of your content and your long-form content. Pre-roll obviously is an advertising opportunity, or as we like to call it, in-stream. But there's also other advertising opportunities. And on YouTube, a very large opportunity, which Mark alluded to earlier, is our partner ecosystem. So we have partners like the New York Times, CBS Sports, all the way through to Howlcast, which I know was featured a little bit earlier. And what those partners represent is a lot of the most important content on YouTube. Users are watching videos from marketers. They're watching user-generated content, but they're also really engaged with our partner content. And so the partner content opens up this opportunity for more traditional advertising mechanisms. And about a year ago, Salesforce jumped into that. So maybe we could talk for a minute about that.
Okay. So we use advertising on YouTube in three ways. The first way is we use display advertising, and we use the display advertising in this case to attract developers. We did a big announcement regarding Java recently, and so this allows us to get in front of those developers. In addition to the display advertising, we're also using search advertising. YouTube is the #2 search engine, and oftentimes people are searching on, hey, how do I manage my sales pipeline and things like that. So we want to make sure that our video content is there. And then the third thing that I've been pushing Elliott on is we need to do more and more in the way of house ads. We're up to 6,000 views a day, and we want to make sure that we've got really clear call to actions from the videos they're watching on YouTube back to the call to action.
Yep. So I guess with that, I know you're up to 6,000 video views a day now, and I know a lot of what we've talked about today, everyone's had the opportunity to talk a little bit about the future. So you've gotten to 6,000. What are you setting your sights on, and what else is important to you in video? And what should we be thinking about so we can help you get there?
Okay. Well, it was an exciting year. We went from 300 video views a day to 6,000 in the year. And this is a slide that I've used internally a number of times to get our executive team thinking about the power of video. It's not nearly as scientific as Ben's presentation earlier today, but it gets the point across. Because for us, we have these really clear and concise messages. So 2 minutes times 6,000 views a day is about 35 hyper-efficient sales reps on the phone. So a really, really powerful metric. Our team is trying to extend the success that we've had with this internationally, so we're going to be developing some additional channels for other languages, and then a lot more live events. So those are some of the things that we're working on in the coming year.
Great. So that's what we have for you. Any questions? Or is there a mic? There's one here and one there.
When you say live events, are those live events on YouTube or live events in cities across around the world?
So we would love to do them on YouTube. We would love to do our live events via YouTube. It's not part of the service today. They're large concerts and stuff like that. But what we found with live events is when we broadcast our launch events and that type of thing, the Twitter traffic takes off. So people love to talk about the live events as they're taking place. And so we will broadcast them live, and then post them on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, and we're really interested, and the YouTube product team is really interested in understanding where the market needs to go here. We've done plenty of live streaming to date, but we've generally focused on really large-scale events. But this is one of the, I know when they asked us to come and talk a little bit today, it was really about collaboration between Google and our clients. And Jamie's done a really excellent job of, I think, pushing me and giving me ideas that I can feed to the product team. So, you know, the more of you that raise your hand and say this is interesting and talk to your team, we can't promise that we're going to deliver it, but absolutely tell us that you want it so we can work on it.
Can you just talk about the metrics a little bit more? I know you mentioned you're using some other things besides YouTube Insights, and I can imagine that getting all of your Salesforce.com videos in the YouTube player would help you get that data all together a little bit more. But what else are you getting? Because I know there's some basic stuff you can see in YouTube Insights, but it's not necessarily as deep as we'd all like in terms of the actual number of people who are watching your videos and, you know, how they're getting there. Are they watching multiple videos, or are they watching one or certain types? Just whatever you can share there would be great.
I think you can get an awful long way with just YouTube Insights. It's provided us a lot of visibility in what we should be focused on and that type of thing. It provides a lot of visibility into how people are discovering the content, where they're watching the content, so that you can adjust your promotion strategy and that type of thing. What we're doing outside of it with the Salesforce mashup is really we're making it so that we don't have to have an Excel spreadsheet to crunch the numbers on a once-a-month basis. We can see real-time dashboards and say, how is our training content doing? What is the cost per view of what we're producing? So that's where we've extended it, but you can get an awful long way with just the straight Insight product.
Great. All right, thank you.